My dog chewed bubble gum. He did. My dog chewed bubble gum. He didn't bubble. He didn't bubble. But he chewed bubble gum. He really did. And this is how he looked when he did it. But not once did he blow a bubble, but he chewed bubble gum. And he didn't just chew bubble gum, he ate bubble gum. And that's how he looked. That's how he looked when he chewed bubble gum. Because I remember how wait a minute, I have to pick up something there on the floor. I remember how back when I was about 5 years old, I guess I was about 5 or 6, and I remember there was one time there was this piece of bubble gum because you know how like bubble gum used to come in like those little wrappers, and there was one time there was this piece of bubble gum that had been on the ground or the floor or something. I think it was in the bedroom. I was in the bedroom, and you know how for some reason every time you drop food on the floor, you're not supposed to eat it, but for some reason dogs are supposed to eat it. That's right. I guess dogs have this built up immunity to picking up germs from the floor that humans don't have. So that makes food safer. Presumably, I don't know if this is really true, but it seemed like that always made food safe for dogs. So there was a piece of bubble gum that tumbled out of its wrapper and landed on the floor. I think it was in the bedroom on the carpet, on the rug. So in other words, it was going to be wasted. So I didn't want this piece of bubblegum to be wasted. So I fed it to my dog, and he started chewing it like this. He did not blow a bubble though. But the thing about this is now here's the thing. He didn't actually swallow it or anything. But he chewed it for like 15 minutes before finally he spit it out on the living room carpet. He walked into the living room and then he just went. He chewed it for like 15 minutes and then he just went and spit it out on the living room carpet. My mom saw him do it. Mom said, "Ah, Max!" So yeah, I remember when he did that. It was so funny when he spit out bubble gum on the living room carpet. There's one time I got silly putty stuck in the living room carpet, like right where the living room meets the hallway. But the thing is, the dog, he didn't actually swallow it though. So I guess he didn't really eat it. I guess he really just obnoxiously chewed it. Though I remember sometimes, what was funny though was when somebody referred to somebody eating bubble gum. Like I remember in high school, there was one time in study hall when I was a freshman in high school, some girl in class said that somebody was eating gum. That's what was the phrase she used. She says somebody is eating gum. Like she didn't say they were chewing it. She said they were eating it. As if they just put it in their mouth and chewed it up and then swallowed it and digested it. But I remember that. So anyway, my dog he chewed bubble gum for 15 minutes. It was like one of those pieces like Pal or Swell, or one of those brands that they used to have back in the 70s. So so he walked around going, he looked ridiculous. He looked ridiculous doing that. And then the dog I had later, I remember later on the dog I had did something probably even funnier than that. He would chew up food. This was food like the dog I had later. Now this dog, the first dog I had, the one that chewed bubblegum, he would eat anything, and I mean anything. Oh, I do mean anything. Trust me on that. But the dog I had later, he was very picky about what he ate. So sometimes you give him food, and even if this was food that was intended for dogs, sometimes he would take it and he would chew it like this. He would chew it for a few minutes, and then he would spit it up on the rug. He would spit it out on the rug. And this was even though this was food that was meant for dogs, he would take the food and chew it and spit it out on the rug, and it was so funny. And my mom would say, "Come on, Dexter, I'm gonna blast you." Because he wouldn't swallow the food that was intended for him. He didn't. He wouldn't even swallow it. You would give him like some perfectly ground, like some stuff that was specially prepared for him, just for him. You give it to the dog. It was prepared just for him. And he would take it. You give it to him. He would take it really. He would be very timid about taking it. He would go. He would get this scowl on his face, and he would just go and just plop it right out on the rug. And I think it even stained the carpet when he did that. So when that happened, the rug was reaming. All because the dog wouldn't swallow his food. But I don't ever remember him chewing bubble gum though, or bubbling. So we didn't get to see him walking around going,